O sons of dogs of the breed! Oh, come here, on flesh to feed! Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee, and on this channel we cover all things true crime, travel, lifestyle, and just generalized vlogs. But today is our final episode of Men in Kilts Season 1, and the journey throughout this season has been just so wonderful for me. It has filled up so much of the Droughtlander void that I know we are all suffering with. And today's episode was no different. I have been looking forward to this episode the most when I discovered that there were all going to be different topics per episode. When I realised that Culloden was coming up, I thought this will be my favourite. And it really did just hit, like, it kicked all the goals for me. I absolutely loved it.
All that we've done so far led to this point.
This moment, this battle that really changed not only the history of Scotland, the shape of Scotland, but the culture after this point.
Yeah.
Scotland became a completely different place.
No. The Highlanders always put the oldest men in front because they believed that courage flowed down the generations, because the older men were more experienced.
The Battle of Culloden basically signified the end of this Scottish way of life, the era of Scotland. Everything changed after Culloden, as I'm sure many Outlander fans now have a more understanding of what happened with Culloden. But if you are just a history buff or a fan of Scotland in general, you may have already known the significance of this battle and how it really did change life for everybody involved. And I really enjoyed that this episode paid respect to the homage of everything that happened with the soldiers, the way of life. This episode really it had a lot of respect for history, which I love.
Now we charge. 300 yards. Just like our Highlander ancestors.
Now, of course, we understand that Outlander has a very significant sort of storyline with Culloden, and the characters of Jamie and Dougal have a very big part in this storyline for Culloden. So I loved that, throughout this episode, there was lots of little throwbacks, and they used a lot of the fighting scenes from Outlander to demonstrate what the battle could have been like and what, these men have experienced throughout the battle. It was a nice little throwback to Outlander, but also gave that history aspect of what all these men suffered during the battle. The weapon style and the weapons that were used in Culloden was also a big aspect of this episode, and it was a lovely little throwback that the designer of the weapons for the show Outlander came in and talked to Sam and Graham.
Pure aggression. You get the shoulder? Bastard! And you just pull it out like that, and then you get him, and in the Ulster, get him like that, around the back of the hamstring, get him on the ground, and get that, and bang, 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 in his face. Sorry.
Now the basket hilt. Here we are.
Of course, that entailed a little bit of a flashback to Outlander of Jamie and Claire killing Dougal with a dirk, and there was a little bit of comedy here, but it wasn't disrespectful to the history of anything of Culloden, which I was a little bit worried for this episode, thinking, oh, maybe there's just the banter might be it, but it really wasn't. It was just so well done, and it showed that there was respect, but you could have a laugh. Again, I say, well done.
Believe now.
A fun little fact that I learned from this episode, because we all know I love to learn something new from each episode, was that there were in fact 5 Jamie Frasers that were in the Battle of Culloden. Obviously our Jamie Fraser wasn't one of them, as we know he's a fictional character, but it was a lovely little tie-in to know that there were 5, you know, there were 5 Jamies out there. But just remembering that Culloden, the Jacobite army were families. So many families were wiped out during this battle. Like, they were father, son, and brothers, and it just amazes me that, you know, an entire generation of Scots was basically annihilated during this battle.
Like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
I cannot believe that Men in Kilts is over. It has just absolutely blown my mind that this entire series is already finished. I feel like we only started it yesterday, and it's just, what are we going to do for Outlander now? Nobody knows. I know I personally have been working on some Outlander content for you guys because I have been inundated with messages saying, oh, what are we going to do, or what Outlander content is coming. And we do have a Outlander video planned for every single week.
That's how you beat the redcoats, eh? With a Highland charge!
We would need surprise for the charge to work. I doubt we'd be that lucky.
But if you are looking for a Scottish fix, I am going to link some of the most amazing videos down below. One of them is a virtual tour of Culloden, and it's narrated by none other than Graham McTavish. So that was something that I have thoroughly enjoyed. I think I've watched it about 4 times now, so I'm going to link that in the description below. Go and check that out. It really is a fantastic watch and listen. Again, I say though, now that Men in Kilts is over, what would you like to see Outlander-wise here on the channel? Are there any videos that you would like to see? I would love to know any of your thoughts. Please drop that also in the comments below, because that would really help us get our Outlander sort of vibes going. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider hitting it. It does really help our channel grow. I cannot wait to see what the reaction is for next week's Outlander content video. I was so excited making it. I hope it's something that you guys all enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.